Hey, if you're like me, you travel a lot, and it doesn't have to be international. You just travel daily. You have to check the things that you need before you leave the house. We're going to talk about relational capacity. Have you checked the baggage that you carry or the baggage that you are in someone else's luggage? I'm looking forward to talking to you. This is the Undercurrent. Hello everyone, I'm Matthew Brown. Welcome to the Undercurrent. Today we're going to talk about the baggage check. If you're like me, you may travel a bit. Hopping flights, packing. And let me just say out front, I hate packing. I hate packing because it is too much to think about with little time, and then you always have this sort of nagging uncertainty that you're not right. You should have brought that, you didn't bring that. You know, people that like start packing maybe 2 weeks before their flight, or someone that packs maybe 2 hours before their flight. Well, the way the airlines are going now, you're better off with a carry-on. I'm seeing all these great travel bags, but I was thinking about this. What about our own capacity to not only check baggage, but to see who is traveling with us? You see, a lot of times we take people on journeys that we are so amped about, but it's really not a part of their flow. But who's traveling with you is just as important as your destination. One of the things that we've found out in life is the fact that our travel companions, the people in what I like to call our purpose circle, are absolutely necessary for our destination. There will be people in your life that are coaches, mentors, colleagues, family, and everyone has a place. But the question becomes, are they aligned to your destination? A lot of times, even in my own family, because I have international travel with international responsibilities, I will hear from particularly my girls about, nope, we don't want you going there. And yet that's when you have that tension between your purpose and your crowd. There has to be an alignment as to not only just moving somewhere or going somewhere, but also understanding who is along in the journey to encourage you to get there. So before you board, you need to check your baggage. Jonathan McReynolds, I read something that he was talking about how he would go through the airport and he would never check his guitar. It would always be on his back. He would always carry it. And as he continued to fly, that what was on his back became weighty. But he also understood that was his purpose. I love the way he put it because he was talking about moving through airports and not trusting that particular piece of luggage with anyone because it was really aligned and connected to his purpose. You see, not everyone can join you on your journey because you are not in everyone's season. There are seasons of journey, there are seasons of relationships, and there are capacities. Remember we said capacity is not just how much you can hold, but how much can you produce. And so as your seasons begin to change, you have to check your bags. You can't pack for winter in summer. You can't pack autumn in spring. You have to know where season you're in, the journey, the destination, how long it'll take to get there, and what you need. What I've learned in my years of traveling is less is better. I try to carry as less as possible because the overpacking is me overthinking. And usually when you get to your destination, you don't wear, well, as a man, you don't wear half of the things that you put in that bag. But you always want to be sure that you have it just in case. Well, when we do a baggage check, I want you to think about the people that are in your life. Matter of fact, let me give you an assignment. What I want you to do is start thinking about the 5 people in your life. Make a list, the 5 people in your life, who are in your life daily, are they in your life at the right season? Do they have the right capacity for the season you're in? And are they aware of the destination that you're trying to go? One of the things that's very difficult is traveling with people who have ulterior motives, who really want to be with you just for the flight. But when you get to the destination, they have already had their own itinerary. They're not going where you're going. They're not going to celebrate your moment. They're not going to be in the space that you're in because they only needed you to get where you're going. And they had a different agenda. Part of the baggage check is to determine in this part of your life, who are you carrying and are they weighing you down? Or are you baggage for someone else? You know, sometimes when purposes don't align and missions and goals and aims are different, then what used to work as a team requires a different adjustment because all of us have different alignments. And so it's not good or bad. I'm not making a judgment call. I'm just basically saying you have to determine whether sometimes in your own life, based upon the season you're in and what you are called to do, if that's baggage for other people. I have a definition about love, and love is for me, loving you is wanting the best for you, even when the best for you may not be me. You see, you've got to determine the baggage you carry, maybe the baggage that you are, and then align yourself to your purpose. How do we discern which relationships align with our next chapter? How do we figure that out? Well, it happens by asking several questions. I think that if people are in your purpose circle and you're doing a baggage check, the baggage check may be this. Hey, are you still cool with who I am and who I'm becoming and where I'm going? Do you understand it? Sometimes that conversation has to be inside your family, with your spouse, with your children, with your siblings, because people are so used to you being one way that they don't see the natural evolution of who you're becoming. And so you have to discern which person may be timed out in your journey, and then how to bring and attract other people to your purpose. How does that work for you? What does it look like to carry unnecessary baggage, right? And what's the impact of that? I will tell you basically just from honest traveling that the less is more because traveling is so stressful. And in these days, it's absolutely stressful. So you got to think about things. I really feel for moms taking kids through the airport, babies, with formula and this and that. And they're thinking about 17 different things that maybe they forgot their passport or maybe they forgot their driver's license because they've been so focused on the baggage that they're carrying. All of a sudden, their own worth was diminished in it. Now, I want to salute the moms who do this. I want to salute the dads who travel with your children. I get that. But now I want to talk to you as the grown person. Are you so worried about what other people are carrying that you forgot to pack your own? You know, there's a great story about making sure that you pack your own parachute. You know, while you're packing everybody else's parachute to make sure that when they jump, it's functional, that the parachute will come out and they'll land safely. And you're so focused on packing others' parachutes that you forgot to pack your own. So don't forget to pack your chute. I just really want you to have a moment of discernment about the baggage check because I think for me this is critically important. As you grow in age and you grow age and stage and as you move through seasons, you're going to have to check the luggage. Because maybe the things you've been carrying are the things that you never use, but you're so used to carrying them that you think that they're ultimately important. Let's take a moment. Let's pull back. Let's think about what are we carrying, who are we carrying, and why are we carrying? You see, you got to travel light. You got to travel light because you will have more time in increasing your margin. Remember we said in the last episode that your margin is your time. It's your boundary. It's a moment of rest. It's a moment of reflection. It's a moment of resilience. Yes, you can have high capacity but low margin, and all of a sudden that gift of high capacity becomes a burden. So I want to tell you that there's a blessing in the burden, but it's only when you learn the lesson. Burdens are really blessings. They're just missing the lesson. If you understand the lesson of the burden, then you will see that, oh, maybe I don't need this in this season of my life. And it's not a bad thing. Give yourself permission. And for God's sake, give yourself some grace to know that you've been traveling, you're good at what you do, you understand why you're doing it, and you are perfectly aligned to your purpose. Maybe the baggage has become too much, or maybe you are baggage in someone else's purpose. Can I just tell you real quickly that real friends will understand? They understand that they're in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. But what you really want is you want bags that have benefit, not just weight. They're beneficial because you need to bring this along. And like Jonathan McReynolds, as he carried the bass or the guitar on his back, even though he was getting older and it was more weightier, it was necessary baggage. What necessary baggage are you carrying? Or what unnecessary baggage may you be in someone else's luggage? You've got to understand that there's a moment that you have to reflect. So let's travel light. Let's make sure that we have space, margin, and boundaries that's always aligned to our purpose. And when you do the baggage check, you'll see. So the next time you're ready to go, think about where you're going, who you're going to be when you get there, and what will you need to take to be your best self. Think of 5 people that are in your life and ask, if these people are daily in my life, do they understand my assignment? Do they know my purpose? And has it become weighty to explain who I am after you've been with me all this time? Yeah, there's the preacher in me. Jesus asked the question. He says, who do men say that I am? He checks the noise. And then he says, tell me, who do you say that I am? I'm so glad he asked that question because he gets the opinion of everyone else. But now he wants to know, since you guys been hanging out with me, do you know me? Maybe you need to ask yourself that question and then ask your purpose circle, those bags that you carry, the baggage you are, and then ask yourself that question for being in other people's purpose circle. Do you really know their purpose? And are you a weight to that purpose or a benefit? This is the Undercurrent. We're doing the baggage check. This is the Undercurrent. Hey friends, thanks for joining us for episode 2, The Baggage Check. If you go to matthewlbrown.org, you'll see a number of other opportunities and tools that we have provided for you as we take this dive and navigate through our own undercurrent. I also want to invite you September 25th to our live webinar. It's going to be a time of unpacking. It's going to be a time of sharing, looking at drills, and becoming the best of ourselves. I am so delighted that you continue to be a part of this journey with me. We'll see you on September 25th.